You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports 2 supporters, we're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers. Today was Aaron Rodgers Day on the Pat McAfee Show. Now, in case you've been living under a rock, the New York Jets are a dumpster fire rolling straight down a hill on a tire fire. Now, if you're a Jets fan, hey, you signed an NFL quarterback today, Trevor Siemian. Yeah, okay. Let me know how that works out. Look, honestly, better than what you got right now. I mean, I'm not even going to act like Trevor Siemian is not an actual step up because, to be honest with you, I think he's a step up. He's a step up from what you got right now, which is sad to say, but that is sort of a fact. It is a step up. Aaron Rodgers has jumped into the fray on all of this, folks, by the way, and gave his comments on the situation going on, because you're seeing a lot of finger pointing. You're seeing a lot of scrapping on the sidelines as far as back and forth and words, and Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas are sticking with Zach Wilson, and the team's obviously not okay with that. The fan base is not okay. Joe Namath crushed Zach Wilson. He crushed management. He crushed Robert Saleh, said everybody needs to go. And then today, one of your superstars, Garrett Wilson, slams Joe Namath. You don't slam Joe Namath. You just don't. Okay, the guy's a legend. As far as the New York Jets go, I mean, that's Broadway Joe. It is getting ugly for the Jets now. We're in a full-on meltdown. I will play some of this sound from the Pat McAfee Show. Let's do this, folks. So, injured New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers wants his teammates to do a better job of handling adversity, and he'd like the fans, including franchise icon Joe Namath, to stay positive. He said he hopes Joe Namath will stay positive. Quote, I think we need to hold our poise a little bit better across the board, just offensively. We need not to have some of the things happen on the sidelines and do a little better and to be just a little bit better competitors. Wide receiver Garrett Wilson, running back Michael Carter were caught on camera in animated conversations with assistant coaches. Carter in particular was hot. He was screaming at running backs coach Taylor Embry. Rodgers, who watched from his home in Malibu, said there were, quote, too many side conversations. So let's just get into this and play a little of this right now.
But it's tough. It's tough because I have absolutely zero impact on the game, and it's a tough place to be. Even when you're a backup, and you're on the sidelines like I was for 3 years, there's something in you that goes, you know what? I did all this research this week. I gave, Brett, my own breakdown of each corner and safety like I used to do. And, now I'm I gave the guys good work on the look team this week. I feel like I made some sort of impact. Like if there's something that maybe happened during the week that could impact the game. But when you're just sitting your ass at home on the couch, try not to have anybody talk to you during the game because, as you guys probably know, you guys both played,
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are experts at football. They love to talk loudly when they're watching games. So I just have a strict, hey, don't ask me a lot of questions during the game if you're there watching with me. Let me just watch, be in my own feelings on this. But, it was tough to watch for sure, disappointing. But, listen, man, life goes on. You got to build from the adversity. This is going to test us. How do we respond this week against a real good football team? The defending champs in our home. Be interesting to see how our fans respond, too. I hope you show up. Don't be selling a bunch of those damn tickets to the Kansas City crowd and Fireman Ed, let's be loud. Let's get that thing going, and you never know who you're gonna see at the game.
I got to admit, I really do feel bad for the guy. I do. I mean, there was all of this buildup. I feel terrible for the Jets fans. It's turned into the worst possible nightmare that this fan base could have possibly had. So Rodgers would go on to say, who watched from his home in Malibu that there were too many side conversations. We just need to grow up a little bit on offense and lock in and do our jobs and not point fingers at each other, and that's everybody. Don't point fingers at coaching staffs. Don't point fingers at each other. Just get back to work and get the job done. Wow. The Jets have dropped 2 straight games as Zach Wilson's led offense produced only 2 touchdowns and 2 defeats. Wilson replaced Rodgers on the 5th play of the opener, has come under fire. Namath fueled the firestorm on Monday, ripping. Dude, ripping's not right. I put in the title of my last video, he crushed Zach Wilson into dust. I mean, it was pretty wild. Namath got crazy. Namath said Wilson was, quote, awful against the Patriots and added that he'd trade the number 2 pick because he has seen enough of Zach Wilson. He also said Robert Saleh and general manager Joe Douglas should be replaced. Rodgers was asked about Namath's comments. Although he didn't address Namath by name, he made it clear he didn't appreciate the negativity. When we're not having success, how do we respond? How do we respond to adversity? And that goes for our fan base and former players as well. You're not helping the cause. Yikes. So a little shade at Broadway Joe from Rodgers. I'd like to see everybody stick together, our fan base, our former players, and our current players, because there's too much negativity and the world is crashing down after 3 weeks. It's a long season, a lot of time. Look, and you got a big win against the Bills. A lot of things that can happen, so let's just take a couple of breaths, okay? I'm not going to say we need to relax. Just take a couple of breaths. So Garrett Wilson went on a weekly spot with Barton Hahn's show on ESPN New York and said he had, quote, really no reaction to Namath's comments. Really? Really? Because I read some of this, and it seems, kind of shitty, actually. We love Joe Namath in the Jets facility, and we love everything he did for the New York Jets. That's something that doesn't need to be said. He's got the right to the opinion, the right to feel any type of way. That's right, he does. But look, you just said it. It doesn't need to be said. Really? Okay. That's that whether anybody likes it or not, that's a shot at Joe Namath to keep his mouth shut. Wilson added, I hope we find a way to use that ammunition, and one day Joe Namath can admit he was wrong and make him eat his words. Do you think he's going to be wrong about Zach Wilson if we're being objective here? I mean, really? Come on now. I mean, look, there's plenty of games. There's plenty of data. It has not worked, okay? That's what it comes down to. We love Joe Namath, but we love Zach, and we're confident in Zach. Is that why everybody's in a code red? A utter meltdown everywhere? You know, on the sideline, in the media, everybody's taking shots. Coaches are getting shouted at on the sidelines. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here. Leslie Nielsen, Naked Gun style, with fireworks and bombs going off in the background. Yeah, everything's not good. It's not good. It's not okay. All right? And you got Aaron Rodgers having to talk about this. And I think he's in California right now, in Malibu, chilling, trying to get that Achilles healed up in case you guys make the playoffs. Playoffs? I mean, wow, that just doesn't even seem like a thing. I said personally, I thought Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh had a obligation to the fans in all this to have gone out and found a real quarterback. And I don't know how it would work because Nathaniel Hackett's system, believe it or not, is extremely complicated. By the way, how bad was Nathaniel Hackett in Denver after the Dolphins dropped 70? Just question mark? Just wondering how bad are the Broncos really? But I'm just coming out and saying his system is very, very complicated. It's one of the most complicated systems in all of football, maybe the most complicated system. The terminology is hard in that system. And that's one of the problems. Again, the only one out there that really and truly probably knows the system real well outside of Aaron Rodgers is like Blake Bortles that's actually available. And do you want Blake Bortles? I mean, more than Zach Wilson? Yeah, probably. I mean, and that's scary to even say out loud. I would have already signed Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz would have been in the building the Monday after Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Carson Wentz would have been on a 10-day cramming of the Jets playbook, and he would have started versus the Patriots. That's how I would have handled it. 2 years ago, 27 TDs, 7 picks. That looks like Tom Brady compared to what you got going on right now. Whatever dumpster fire Carson Wentz had last year with the Commanders looks like Tom Brady compared to what you got right now. I mean, let's just be real. Yikes. Tell me what you think, Black and White Sports 2 supporters. It's a mess. It's a mess. Good luck, New York. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.